All right, so Tremaine, hey-ho here with Patrick.
What up?
What up, Pat?
How you guys doing?
Pat's one of my best friends, guys, and he's also a movie buff, just like me. Just a little bit.
We have good conversations.
All right, Pat.
I'm about to explain to Tremaine. I can't believe he hasn't heard this, but it's this theory floating around the internet that one of the ways they're going to kill Thanos is that Ant-Man can shrink down to super small size, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Go up his butthole.
Okay.
Inside of him, and then super expand.
Oh,
inside of him, right?
That's genius.
Yeah.
That would actually be genius.
I can't believe you haven't heard this. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's the butthole theory.
The butthole theory. Wow. See, if they do that in this movie, I would be I'll be so down.
Movie day.
No,
So
yeah.
just a briefer, I hate these movies. I'm sorry. I hate these movies.
I
I'm so
love these
sorry.
movies.
And
too.
he loves these. He loves them.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a fanboy.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, there's also another theory about if you cry during Avengers, you probably pee sitting down.
It might be true.
It might be true. I don't know, like, okay, look, here's my deal with it. I think I'm just more annoyed with the hype. Everyone's so hyped up about this movie. Or people saying, oh, I cried when Captain America saves the day. You know, it's like, who cares?
Someone's gonna die in this movie.
Yeah, someone's gonna die, of course.
We all know this going into it.
We all know this.
Right.
I kind of do know the spoilers.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
You got some inside information?
I do.
Jeez, you and Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's true.
That too.
Oh yeah, I know Game of Thrones as well. Anyway.
It's a fucking
That's
asshole.
a whole other thing.
It's good to know
but I didn't
people,
spoil
right?
it.
Do you know who he is?
Do you know who I am? Do you have any idea? But yeah, we actually have a wager going on because I wrote the spoiler
It's true.
in an envelope.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, and I have it sealed in my office. No one's looked at it. It's totally safe.
Yep.
But I like my odds because you have one possible outcome,
Yeah.
and I have all the others.
All the others. It's true. That's very true. That's very true.
So you must be confident, or
I'm pretty
or
confident.
just a little
I'm pretty
crazy.
confident. Either that or my source is very not reliable, but
It could be. It could be.
it's pretty reliable source. Reliable sources. But look, I love movies.
Yeah.
I like spectacles. I like blockbusters, you know? And you know what?
There's a
Hey,
reason
it could be a
people
good
make them.
movie.
I mean,
There's a
they're,
reason,
you know?
yeah. So I'm not gonna knock on it too much. I just think everyone that likes it are kind of nerds. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, come on, guys. You get into it. Don't get too into it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
right.
we'll see.
We'll see. I'm going to make it through this movie, guys. There's an actual bar, so we're gonna be good. We're gonna be
3.5 painful hours later.
Wow, survived. We made it through. Jeez, it's the longest freaking movie ever. It was so boring. I'm sorry. This movie is so boring. The first hour, nothing happens. Literally nothing happens. So, welcome. We made it.
We made it through. We made it through. It was a rough journey, but we made it through. Well, I'll just start with my big takeaway.
Wait, hold on for a second. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we made it through. Okay, whatever.
We
You go.
made it
You
through.
go.
All right, my
This-
first big takeaway from that movie is number one, Thanos was fucking right to kill half you motherfuckers. To begin with, this movie shouldn't have been made. It should have stopped at Endgame because half of you deserve to die based on my experience in that theater. Motherfuckers don't know how to act in public. You're very inconsiderate of others around you just in general. And I'm always saying this for, again, people that were in that theater because they must not have had parents. Like, we must have been in a theater with a bunch of people who did not have like good, you know, grooming when they were young, and we're not taught or told how to act properly in public.
So okay, so we walk through because halfway through it was like. Was it halfway through or like 3/4 of the way through? I heard
Yes, I
heard
did.
someone say, hey, could you be quiet or something?
It was me.
And then I looked over and I'm like, oh shit, that's Patrick.
It was me because that dude, it was a younger
What
couple.
happened?
It was
What
a
happened?
younger couple in the middle of the row we were in.
Okay.
You and I
like
were
teens?
both on.
Teens or like 20s?
I honestly don't know.
Okay,
I honestly
somewhere
don't know.
like late teens, early 20s.
They were certainly, yeah, late
Okay,
teens,
okay.
early 20s.
Okay.
Let's just call it that. And it seemed like there was a whole group of them, but there was the two of them right in the middle.
Okay.
And they seemed to be a couple or whatever. Would not shut the fuck up throughout the entire movie. The entire movie, both of them. Both of them kept just fucking, every time there was like a quiet part, and we weren't experiencing action or a lot of music or anything, these two motherfuckers, you could hear so clearly that it was honestly ruining the movie for me.
What were they saying?
I don't even know. I really don't even know. It was just reaction. It was, oh, like, oh, or they, you know, one of them would ask the other one, oh, what does that mean? It's like, fucking, you were not given any more information, and whoever you're asking was not given any more information than you were.
Right.
Shut the fuck up and watch the movie.
Just watch the damn movie, yeah.
Oh my god, dude. No, and honestly, they were just the worst. I didn't want to say anything to them because there were so many other people that were doing kind of the same thing.
Though, you have to speak up.
They were so much worse than everyone else, though.
Yeah.
Is the problem, dude.
Yeah.
They were so much worse than, and I've never told someone, and I said it real politely. I said, can you guys please be quiet?
Yeah, you did. You were very
exactly
quiet.
what I said.
Yeah. You were very quiet. Very polite.
And honestly, I almost didn't say it because there were so many other people doing the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, we all paid money to see this movie and not hear your like live commentary for it.
Right.
We paid to hear the movie.
Yeah. I kind of feel I don't really actually feel bad. Like the guy, the kid next to me, I would laugh. I was laughing like throughout the whole thing. Like, because there's a lot of like, unintentional humor.
Actually, yeah, we haven't even gotten to the movie yet.
We haven't gotten to the movie yet. We'll get to it. We'll get to the movie, but
eventually.
Yeah, eventually. But like there was a part where the kid next to me like looked over, he like stared over because I like laughed. Yeah. Because I laughed out loud.
Okay.
And then like I think the second hour, I think I fell asleep. I was like drifting in and out of sleep.
I think I saw that.
And I woke up and I'm like, oh, still nothing's going on. I'm gonna go back to sleep. Still nothing's happening.
Yeah, there was a little. Yeah, okay.
There was a lot of that. Yeah. Anyway. But that is so. What's crazy is that people don't understand etiquette at the theater. And my whole thing is that I like look. Okay.
So you agree that it was excessive?
I'm just gonna say this. Luckily, I didn't have anyone talking right behind me. But that is probably my biggest pet peeve. People talking during a movie, you know, or ruining it or whatever. But the thing is. It's not only that though. For me, okay, I hated this movie. It's stupid. This movie sucks. This movie's stupid, okay? It's freaking stupid. It's boring. It's dull, okay? But my whole thing, Avengers, the movies are stupid, but the audience is even dumber.
This movie review is sponsored by Rideshare, now on Amazon Prime. Watch it, give it 5 stars, and comment saying it's the greatest movie of all time. Do it now.
Don't live to the standard. Create your own.
There you go. A time machine all of a sudden, and then put the technology
That was
back
a
together,
little
you know
weird how they kind of jumped too quick to that.
They jumped to that, and then there were also
it was just like, oh yeah, no one knows how to fucking time travel, but we're gonna figure this shit out.
And then
then all of a sudden, boom, they figured it out.
It was literally like, well, you know, what do we do? Everyone's died. Well, what could we do? Well, we could invent a time machine and just go back in time and change it. And they're like, oh, why didn't we think of that before? Let's just do that.
Because they didn't have a time machine.
That's why I'm like, dude, this movie's so stupid. It's so stupid because it's just like, oh, well, why don't we just invent a time machine? Oh, why didn't I think about that? Like, oh, all our problems are solved. Yay.
But that was one of the, I mean, again, you got to suspend disbelief.
Right.
You know, for...
Belief. Suspend belief.
Suspend. Okay, yeah. Suspend reality, whatever. However you want to
distort reality.
Paraphrase that.
Warp reality.
You gotta be able to put yourself in the mindset that it's like you're not questioning everything. Because obviously, if that was the case, Split would have been a terrible movie.
True.
You know, it is a fantasy in a sense.
It is a fantasy,
and you got to be able to play into that fantasy.
Right, because as soon as you ask questions, it's like, this doesn't work.
Right, none of it does.
None of it works.
None of it works.
Which, by the way, Hulk. Anytime.
Okay, what did you think of how they did the Hulk with both of them?
It was a fucking joke, dude.
You didn't like that?
It was a joke. I mean, it was a joke. I thought it was.
You've always been a joke.
It is a joke. My middle name is a joke, but like literally, I was laughing.
You change your middle name
to a joke. Yeah, I should.
Yeah.
But like every single time he's on screen, I end up laughing. Because it looks so fake. And then it's so funny because they're trying to make it look like Ruffalo. And Ruffalo is such an idiot. He's an idiot. He's like a lovable idiot.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like, but the thing is, he's supposed to be a doctor is the whole thing. He's supposed to be this genius.
Very smart dude, yeah. Very smart guy.
But that doesn't come across. He looks like an idiot. He
Well,
looks like an idiot. He acts like an idiot.
The
I'm sorry, Ruffalo.
The whole idea, though, and it's not Ruffalo's
But Hulk
fault.
is-
it's
Hulk
not
is an
Ruffalo's
idiot,
fault
though.
because what they did was they merged
Ruffalo, I don't think it's that
Bruce
smart.
Banner.
But maybe he is smart.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't.
I don't know how smart.
His character, Bruce Banner, is supposedly very smart. So
Yeah,
that's what
Bruce Banner.
That's
yeah.
what we're going with.
Eric Bana was pretty good. I thought.
He
I thought
was the
better.
Hulk, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was better. I thought Eric Bana was better. Because I could believe that he was actually smart. Like Ruffalo, he's just an idiot. Anyway, sorry. That's
But he's got a block face, so it fits the blockhead.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
I can see the blockhead.
I didn't like Ruffalo when they brought him in as the Hulk. However, like now with all the
He's
movies
growing on
they
you?
had him in,
He's growing on you.
it's hard to imagine him as not the Hulk,
Right,
you know, or
okay.
the Hulk is someone else.
I was thinking a similar thing about Peter Parker, how
The new Spider-Man,
Peter-
yeah. Because they did,
yeah.
and that's another one actually because they created a whole new like Spider-Man timeline just for that particular Avengers Spider-Man.
Oh,
right?
yeah. That was cool,
'cause
with his
it's not-
spider
it's
suit.
Not, it's not the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and it's not the what's the other kid's name? The Amazing Spider-Man one.
Oh,
right? You know
oh
what I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Either way, those
Forgot him
are
already.
two
Yeah.
separate Spider-Mans, and they had a third one they threw in for
Spider-Man.
the Avengers.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, sure, yeah. Two different Spider-Men.
Man,
You're right.
yeah.
Just for okay.
Sorry, welcome back. We're sitting here.
Lots of
That's what I was gonna
spoilers.
say. Spoiler alert,
If this
spoiler
ends
alert.
up being the beginning of the video,
Yeah.
do not watch this if you haven't seen
Don't
the
watch
movie.
it. Don't even try.
We're spoiling everything.
Don't try.
Spoiling
Yeah,
all of it.
spoiler alert.
So be warned.
There's no real spoilers to be had, but
I really, really liked the way that movie started.
Iron Man dies. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he does though.
He does.
No, I really, really liked the way
How
the
it
movie
started.
started.
The first
in the
scene.
sense of like, it brought you in real quick because there was no opening credits. There was no anything right away. It was just boom. It's Hawkeye right.
I love that,
Go lay
actually.
down. Go lay down. Right. And it brings you into a very sentimental moment to where you can sort of feel that it's they did it well. They brought you in a moment that you could tell was passionate.
I like when movies like it felt like the seventh Harry Potter. You know, like when
I don't remember that one specific.
Well, when Harry Potter, when there was
the
a
last
whole,
one,
like,
but the
yeah, it
first
was
one?
like the last one,
But
it
the
was
first
like
part,
the
or was it
second
the
part,
last-
or the first part of the
second
second part. I don't know, either or, whatever.
Okay.
The second, like the last one that they did, it had that feeling where everything's on the line now. People have died. There's a lot of pain, regret. Whatever,
Well, for
all that
him,
stuff.
he didn't know any of that though.
He didn't, right? But we're starting it off without credits. Like I love that.
Yes,
If you notice,
absolutely.
Rideshare, the movie that.
And it was like a good 3 minutes until we saw even just like the banner.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and with the name too.
Yes.
Yeah, banner with the name, but which was great. I love because I don't like credit sequences. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Like
They usually take away.
only credit ones I like are James Bond, like the James Bond credit sequences.
Well, yeah, but that's also iconic.
It's stylized and it's iconic, right?
Yeah,
and
they
it
always
works
have
that
a good
way.
song.
But other than that, like I
it's
don't
sexy.
see.
There's a gun
Yeah.
all over the place.
It's like if you want to see the credits,
yeah.
if you want to see the credits, watch the end of the movie, and you can watch the rest of the credits, and that's
I'm
great.
with you there.
Okay, cool. So it started off strong.
Started off great. I love that they did that because again, it brought you in that moment, and I'm glad that I was thinking the whole way through of that entire opening sequence. I was like, okay, is it gonna be just him at the end because that'd be so much more impactful, like right?
Right.
Because it's half of everyone, but that doesn't mean that like it'll be him and like his one of his kids. He had 3 or something.
Yeah.
And his wife. It
By the
was
way, I
really
like
cool
I
that.
like what they did with the hot dogs. They're like, who has mayonnaise on hot dogs, right? It was like, you want mayonnaise or mustard? They're like, who has mayonnaise on hot dogs? It's like, oh, 2 mustards, whatever. So, but then the kid,
It makes it a personal thing because you're right. Yeah, it's grounding
right,
it. Again,
it's grounding
Hawkeye,
it, right.
Hawkeye is that sort of human character.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was probably my favorite character. But maybe because of this intro. Maybe because I feel more emotionally attached
And I don't
to
think
him.
he was in the last movie either. So it was been a while
don't
since
remember
yeah,
whether he was.
I wouldn't. I could be wrong, but
It
I
doesn't
don't.
matter.
I don't think he was in the last one. So no, it does
He
matter
probably
because you haven't
was,
seen him in a
though,
while.
Yeah, you hadn't seen him.
You
But
know?
I think he was in there, but he was like in the background. In the
Infinity
last one.
War?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Okay, so as a preview, like I'm not a big fan of these Avengers movies. I do like superhero movies. I like Spider-Man. I like Batman. I like Dark Knight.
Dark Knight was great.
It was amazing. But I'm not a big superhero. I'm not a big Captain America guy. I don't know. There's a lot of superhero.
But you
heroes.
like the first Iron Man because that was John Favreau.
I love the first Iron. I love the first Iron Man.
That was
Not
a
only do
great
I like,
movie.
I love it. Yeah, and to me, Iron Man is a classic film. When that came out, it set a precedent, and it was.
It's like the new Raiders almost.
How do you mean?
Raiders of the Lost Ark, dude.
Oh, I thought we were thinking Oakland Raiders.
No.
Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yeah. It was an amazing film.
Yeah, it was. But what do you mean, like the new Raiders?
Well, only in the sense of like, to me, that kind of redefined the action series. Even James Bond films were not as cool up until like Raiders came out. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Raiders was dope. Maybe I was too young.
Anyway.
Maybe we'll cut all that.
Anyway. Yeah. Yeah. I lost my train of thought. What was it? What were we talking about?
Well, so we're talking about that opening scene still of Hawkeye being that human character, and really he had no idea what happened, and then boom, family's hold on. All right. And then we got to see we checked in with a few other characters, and again, it was that whole sequence of we didn't even see like a credit, we didn't see anything other than just, touching in with people, shit happening.
Yeah.
Because those first 5 minutes of the movie was, like you said, when a lot of the shit really did happen, and then it did drag on for a long time.
Yeah. The movie?
Yes.
Yeah, it dragged.
The story did.
The whole story.
Really, yeah.
And it's like the scenes they're unnecessarily taking up time. Like there'll be scenes where they're just sitting there and it's like seconds. And there's seconds and seconds.
You know what's sad about that also is looking back on it. Go lay down, girl. Looking back on it is that all the Captain Marvel scenes, like you said, there wasn't very many, but all of them felt like they were kind of pushed.
Right.
Like they really didn't need
scenes
to
that
be
have Captain Marvel in them.
Yeah.
Or you mean just Captain Marvel, or you mean the whole scene in and of itself?
Like how they used her entirely seemed just, I don't know. It didn't seem like it really fit that well to me. And maybe that's again because I haven't seen Captain Marvel. They could have tied her on a little better.
Like you were saying earlier, how she shows up in the beginning, and you think she's going to be a really vital, important part of the story. Then she's like, "You're not going to see me long," and then she's gone.
And it would have made more sense if they would have
They should have followed her story.
Yeah.
That would have been cool if they showed Captain Marvel on another planet doing her thing out there.
Well, then maybe that's what her movie was. And again, I didn't see that.
Maybe that
right?
was.
So
I don't know how the timelines work. I don't know how that works. Like, that was before Captain Marvel was way before this Avengers.
I believe
because it's supposed to be like
in the timeline.
Like
I believe it was, but they filmed Endgame before they filmed Captain Marvel. I know that.
It's so weird thinking about it because they're like 5 years and they go to 2014.
Yeah, why did they do that too? Almost like I'm a little confused about that. Did that much time need to pass? Right, for them to figure some shit out? Like, what exactly would happen? Oh, wait, that's when Ant-Man came back, I guess. Is it took him 5 years for the rat to crawl across and...
Right, yeah, that's what it was.
It
was interesting because it would jump to a new place, and then there'd be another scene, but then other times it'd jump to a new place, and then they would have the city name. But they wouldn't always have the city name whenever they jumped. So it was like this weird thing where you get this exposition shot and it says San Francisco. And then you see Ant-Man. It's like, okay, he's in San Francisco.
Okay.
But then they don't really ever do that again. Like they go like a couple other places.
But it also didn't really matter as far as the plot line either.
It didn't matter, right?
It didn't matter
He could have been in any city.
It was useless information.
Illinois, it could have been Timbuktu, for whatever it was.
Where the fuck ever.
It didn't matter what city
USA.
Yeah. And it was just like, oh, San Francisco. It's like, so you think that's going to be vital, but it really didn't matter. So
yeah.
Then they randomly did that with...
It did matter when they were talking about the planets, when they were going, like, for the stones, That's where it did matter. And maybe they only did that for continuity of, like, keeping everyone informed of where you're at in the time, right?
Yeah.
Or the place. But it did only matter when they went to the different worlds.
Right. That's when it matters. Like, when you go to a different world, that makes sense. Like, you go to a different world, oh, we're on Asgard now.
Right.
Whatever.
Even though Asgard's destroyed.
Asgardians of the Galaxy.
It got destroyed in Ragnarok. Trey doesn't know that because
I saw Ragnarok.
He did, but he's not a big fan, so he probably didn't know
I zoned out.
A big thing. Yeah. Ragnarok was a good movie too, though. I like Ragnarok.
I wouldn't say it was a good movie. It was enjoyable. I liked Jeff Goldblum.
How can you not like Jeff Goldblum?
A lot of people hate him. They hate him.
General.
A lot of people hate him. He's got some haters.
I don't know any of them.
I know people, and I don't know them anymore. Let's put it that way.
Goldblum love.
Yeah.
All right.
So we love Goldblum.
So
I do like Goldblum. Anyway, that's a whole nother
thing. We don't need to do that right now. But either way, they waited the 5 years. They started getting everything back together, and It kind of did make sense that I guess because the 5 years happened, that's why it took so long for them to get back in the flow of all working together. Iron Man eventually came in and figured out the time thing while everyone else was already kind of working together on doing it.
But still, it was like they're like moping around for 5 years. And then all of a sudden, everyone's moping. And then all of a sudden they're like, well, why don't we just go after Thanos and why don't we just save the day? It's like, oh, okay. And then they just did it. It was like, okay. Like,
well, I mean, they killed him before the 5 years, I think, right?
Right.
It was 5 years
killed
after
him,
they
and
killed
then 5
him.
years. Yeah.
Okay.
So they chopped Thanos' head off, and it was just like...
That was pretty sweet, though, too. I did like that.
It was funny.
Because I wasn't expecting them to off Thanos that quick, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really wasn't.
Yeah. That's a cool device, but you know he's going to come back, right? So it's like, they're going to come back.
Only because they offed him so early.
But I did like that, too, because it's like, it's like breaking those expectations, because you expect him to be at the very end. You expect it to be this big.
Well, of course, yeah.
Right? And then he gets his head chopped off. It's like, oh shit. And it's like, I use the stones to destroy the stones. It's like, oh, okay.
It's like, this guy's got kidney stones.
Yeah, he's got stones. Let them pass. Those two shall pass. Dude, yeah, it was like so all that stuff happened. And okay, Thor. Let's talk about Thor. Because Thor chops his head off.
I'd love to talk about Thor.
What did you think about Thor in this movie?
I loved. Okay, so when they first introduced him, obviously he's been in the shit house just tanking it for years, doing nothing, right? Sitting on the couch playing video games. I love the guy who voices the big rock dude, the dude from New Zealand.
He's funny. He's super funny.
He's hilarious. So I always like seeing him and just hearing that character. He was good, a little comic relief.
Is that Taika Waititi? That was the director of Ragnarok. Isn't that the voice? The same voice?
I don't know.
We'll look it up.
I don't know. I like that guy because again, his comedic timing is great. The voice is naturally funny.
You know what? You know what? It was funny because I'm not gonna hate on Thor Ragnarok because
I love
Taika Waititi is a filmmaker and he's a really good.
So he directed that one?
He directed that one.
Very cool.
Yes, and he's more of an indie filmmaker. And he said, he's like, oh yeah, here, he's like, I'm like selling out now, doing the Thor. And it was funny because I saw an interview and he was talking about that, and it seemed like he felt like he was selling out. But it's like, you gotta say yes to these types of opportunities. Like,
would you not?
No, yeah, of course. I would direct Thor in a freaking second.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would direct Avengers in a freaking second. It would be 10 times better than this piece of garbage.
No, you'd probably take any job that was thrown your way that was anywhere in that realm.
But still, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I'd make it 10 times, 100 times better. Fucking 1,000 times better.
I'm sure.
I feel like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to get this out of the way. The Avengers, even the audience, it was like there were times in the movie where I feel like they were going so much for a cheer.
talk about Thor, by the way.
We're going to talk about Thor. But there was a time where there was supposed to be this like big cheer moment in the theater, and then there wasn't. Did you notice that? Like when people, especially when people started showing up,
like yeah,
right?
Yeah.
It was like people started showing up.
They almost breezed over I guess what you would call the climax of it. When they actually the very end battle.
It was like the actual climax.
Everyone's there,
right?
And you know what I honestly think fucked that up was the scene before that. Captain Marvel grabbed the gauntlet, right? And Spider-Man was like, "Oh, how are you gonna get through all those people, right?" And then one of the chicks stood up and said, "She's got backup, right?" And then every single female on the battlefield all of a sudden showed up there, right?
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they still failed in the long run because it was so funny. But at the same rate, it was just like, okay, if there was one point in this movie that they tried to really push that liberal agenda,
female agenda,
that's where it was right there.
Right.
And I honestly feel like first of all, it didn't need it whatsoever, because if you take that scene out of the movie, it would be better already. The whole fight scene would make more sense.
Yeah.
I feel like that was just honestly overstepping the bounds a little bit of being like women are important. It's like, if women are that important, why do you need to send that sort of blatant message?
Well,
why?
Not even that.
Just,
I see what you're saying. They go for that point. They want to really nail that point.
They did.
Women can do this too. Women can be superheroes.
Right.
Okay, that's great. Yes, we know fucking women are superheroes. Like moms are superheroes.
Yeah.
All moms are fucking superheroes.
You can't create life without a woman. It's an amazing thing.
It's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get that away. So, But my biggest thing is that they're in this big battlefield, and then we have people whispering to each other, and they're on a battlefield, and they're just like, I know, don't worry about me. And be like, you're on a fucking war zone. You're in a fucking war zone.
There's shots going, bombs going everywhere.
I can't hear you. Right. Like, I can't fucking hear you.
Okay. I honestly didn't even think about that, really.
Yes, I'm thinking about that the whole time.
That
and
didn't bother
I started
me. That
laughing.
didn't bother me at all,
Dude,
really.
The part Scarlett. Okay, the part with Scarlett Johansson. But once you think about it now you're gonna realize it's gonna fucking shit.
But how many movies could you say that for as well, though?
Well, no, there's ways that movies can do that is effective, but it's not. It was so ridiculous that it was just like, this wouldn't happen. You can't fucking hear that person. You're in a war zone. No one would be whispering. The biggest part when I was laughing out loud, I was lulling in the theater. The poor kid to the left of me, he was like some high school kid, or whatever. I'm
okay.
like,
He was probably part of that whole group that we
yeah,
talked about earlier.
Probably. I'm like cynically laughing. I was cynically laughing at this movie, the whole movie, by the way. So sorry about the guy. Sorry, not sorry. Like, I kind of wish we were sitting next to each other, because that would have been a lot of fun.
I know, dude. Hold on. Here's another fun fact, actually. When I bought the tickets, I didn't realize that when you're looking at the names...
Yeah, that was a fun fact. Hashtag fun fact. We're going up to our seats, and I'm like looking up, and I'm like, I'm looking for, it says A1.
My dogs are bothering me.
It goes A1. I'm like, oh, okay, A1, A must be in the back, right? So I was like, oh, we're going out.
That you also thought that because that's what I told you.
That's what you told me.
When I looked at the map when I'm buying this thing,
it was upside down. There's a screen on one way.
It's at the very top, and apparently the screen's on the top. Well, to me, that's a little counterintuitive, right? Like, I don't know. If I'm just looking at a theater top down, I don't know why I would assume it, but I think the screen's on the bottom, right?
Right.
That's just what I did.
But you know the bottom was the top.
I didn't.
The top was the bottom.
So we walk up to the top fucking row, see the entire thing loaded down, and I'm thinking, like, all right, am I gonna have to, like, tell this person, because who would do that? You have assigned seating and you're gonna take someone else's seat? Why would you do that, right?
Right. Well, if you're sneaking in, not that I do ever do that.
Don't do that. By the way, though, that actually did happen because we got down to the bottom row, right?
Yeah.
The very front, which I did not realize. I thought we were in the very back. That's the funny part. But we get up to the very front, and my seat actually was sat in, dude.
What? Yeah! That's what I was gonna ask you. I was like, oh shit. And then I was like, what the?
New beer.
Cheers, new beer.
Slung.
Cheers, new beer. Slong.
Where were we at?
Oh, Thor. We haven't talked about Thor yet.
Thor.
We need to talk about
Thor.
Thor's character.
I love the fact that they took, like, literally probably the strongest character,
and
right?
they made him the weakest.
Well, no, and he got fat and lazy, right?
Yeah.
And it was cool because that's actually one interesting factor of I didn't like the whole 5-year thing because, again, like, what were you waiting all that time for? And I guess, yeah, we did sum it up to the Ant-Man being the catalyst of coming back and them figuring out they could do the time thing with the quantum. Hella spoilers, again, by the way.
I don't even know what he just said, so... And I watched the movie, so...
Yeah,
anyway,
I know. You might have fell asleep for that part.
Yeah.
But Thor, I thought was really cool in that sense of they showed him as, like, obviously not... the normal Thor that we've seen of the strongest character, the God of Thunder. He still did some things. I really thought they overdid the Big Lebowski reference way too hard.
Where was that?
What? You really didn't see that?
No, where was I honestly I've seen Big Lebowski twice.
I guess I'd have okay.
Yeah. But like, in a 10-year span.
Okay, so when they first showed him, he was at his house with those guys, like we were saying, and I like the voice actor, the guy that does the Rock character.
Yeah. Oh yes, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. And so
I like the beer. Like, he has the beer.
He's got a ton of beer,
that's
right?
Cool.
He's obviously drank a ton of beer because he had a fucking huge. He was in a fat suit.
Yeah.
And that was
the crowd
funny.
reaction was funny on that.
And
everyone reacted big on that. That was
and,
probably the biggest reaction in the whole movie, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
It was like,
definitely.
And I was like, well, I didn't even notice it at first. It was like, oh, like
because it was like what
I wasn't
Mike Myers from that. What was the guy?
Fat Bastard.
Fat Bastard.
Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah.
It was like
that same fat suit almost. Really.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah.
But no. So that was cool that they did that. But after they got out of that scene, once they brought him like to the rest of the Avengers, and they took him away from all the other Asgardians wherever they settled. I forget even where they said that was. Like you said, it didn't it was one of those things where they posted it, but who cares?
Right, who cares?
I was probably staring down these motherfuckers in the middle of the row who wouldn't stop talking.
Oh, the people in the middle were talking too.
That's who I'm talking about.
Oh, they weren't behind you? Weren't they behind you?
Well, people behind me were talking, but the ones I was talking to were in the middle.
Who did you
of
yell
our
at?
row.
Who did you yell at?
They were in the very middle of our row.
Those people?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I didn't know.
I told you, it was that younger couple.
It was so funny. I didn't even notice him. I literally... And the thing is,
I don't know how you couldn't.
Maybe because I didn't care. I didn't really care. And I'm like, just trying to get into this movie.
But the people
I'm, like,
behind you
really
were bothering you.
No. No one was really bothering
me. You mentioned... All right. Maybe...
Like, the audience was bothering me because they laugh at the stupidest thing. And like
that, yeah.
You know, yeah, that's what bothered me. But like I was ironically laughing the whole time. And like every single time Ruffalo was on screen with a Hulk, I'm like like Hulk, he's got these huge like big ass nipples and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like
why are you looking at Hulk's nipples, man?
You know, like they're UFO saucer titties, dude. Like,
okay, so back to Thor for a minute.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get to finish that. That was funny. That was funny. So back to Thor, though. Like I said, once they brought him around the other Avengers, they had him in basically the exact same outfit that the dude from The Big Lebowski was wearing, right? It was different colored sweaters and all that, but it was basically like, you know, the fucking
Thor
sweater.
Was?
The sweatpants Thor was, yeah. And they, in my mind, they overplayed that. They did it too much because at the end it was sweet, and we're jumping forward here, but
was
it
it
really
a legitimate tribute to Big Lebowski?
I wouldn't even say it was a tribute, but and they even said Lebowski or something like that. They mentioned movies. They directly referenced it. It's not like it was a hidden thing. They directly referenced it. I know that. And again, I'd have to see it again to remember the exact line, but I know for a fact they did.
That is what's interesting is that this movie mentioned movies in the movie, and like I always get annoyed.
Yeah.
I always get annoyed
because it did Back to the Future a lot.
Yeah, they said Back to the Future. It was like it was kind of cool because they addressed the plot holes that they had. They realized that they were just making shit up.
They were. It wasn't like it was a bad reference or they were. Yeah. But
it was kind of like
too much.
It was too much, right? It was like I understand that little bit to cover their ass, but it's like when it's like, well, in this movie they did this. Like, well, we're in it's not like this is a movie, guys, but it is a fucking movie. It's a fucking movie. So why would you say this isn't a movie when it is a fucking movie? You fuck. That's a hump. Yeah, dude, it's like no, that's what always gets under my skin. And then they mention it. Oh, it's not like the one line was pretty funny was Ant-Man's line. He goes, Die Hard. He goes, Die Hard. Oh wait, never mind. That doesn't fit.
Yeah. Well, when they were naming all those movies that did the time thing, that they, and there was a ton of them,
which was funny.
I almost forgot how many there were.
So
actually,
I kind of just contradicted myself.
I liked that scene.
Because I was like, I hate all that shit.
But then I did
like that. I liked it when he said that. When he said Die Hard. I was like, oh wait, that wasn't it. That was fun.
Bless you. Oh, I thought you were about to say.
I was trying to burp.
Oh, okay.
Dude, this beer tastes so good.
It's great beer, isn't it? Again, props to Greenback Movie Theater for serving beer.
Yes, Greenback. R.I.P. the Cinedones.
And you know what? Actually, back to the crowd thing. I had 2 beers and was a much more like
laid back.
What's the best way to put
back?
this? No. Socially conscious than everyone else.
How do you mean?
I was considerate of others' experience, not just mine.
Okay. Congratulations.
And that was my problem.
Because no one else was?
There was far too few people who were considerate of others' experience in that movie theater.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Do you not agree with that?
Repeat what you just said. I kind of zoned out though.
There were.
At least I'll admit I zoned out.
Okay, let me put it less politically correct. There was too many loud motherfuckers there.
Okay, why didn't you say that? Yeah,
I was trying to be. I was trying.
Don't
to
fucking try to be politically correct.
I was trying to be nice and
slut.
No.
Sorry. Shout out to all those sluts out there.
At one point, but
yeah, at one point in time, definitely not anymore.
No. So they way overdid the Big Lebowski thing with Thor, and I think the coolest thing that happened more so than Captain America being able to pick up his hammer was the fact that he eventually was at a point in time where he had both hammers, right? He had the axe and the hammer.
Yeah.
Thor did. And I know that you don't care about that.
I don't give a shit about any of this. Dula had the hammer. But I like the big axe.
The axe and the hammer.
The axe is cool. Because the hammer is fucking puny. I always hated that hammer.
No, but the hammer got destroyed before. And it came back in a different timeline. Yeah, this is the part that you don't care about.
Yeah.
But either way, it was really, really fucking sweet for me to see that.
It was really sweet.
It was really sweet for me to see that. This fucking guy. All you fans out there are going to know what I'm saying.
All you fans out there.
This fucking guy.
All these fans out there, have fun peeing sitting down.
I didn't cry in the movie, but you know what?
He's like, I almost did. He's like, I didn't cry, but I almost did.
No, I didn't cry and I didn't almost cry. But what was funny is I remember we talked about that beforehand, right?
Yeah.
Remember you were saying like people are gonna cry in this movie, and if you pee sitting down, and we all laughed at that.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people I like audibly heard crying within the last 5 minutes of the movie?
It was hilarious.
There was a lot, right?
Yeah, I was looking back.
People were sniffling. Like, dude,
fucking Iron Man.
You could hear it. Like
stupidest thing.
It was. Yeah. It was like fucking.
No, it was funny, man. Yeah, people like.
A ton of people. They were gasping. They were fucking.
But it was weird though because I look back. I turn around because I'm like, I want to see who's crying here. I want to like, look at this motherfucker's face. I look back, but I didn't. I look back for like a.
I'm assuming even if they were.
I look back for like a split second. Women. I wanted to see who was crying, but I couldn't decipher who was crying and who wasn't. So I wanted to kind of stare and look, but that's too awkward. So I just turned back around. But I did it twice. Because I looked back because people were audibly crying. I'm like, dude, you guys are fucking crying over this stupid movie. This movie sucks, and it's a fucking soap opera, and it's a shitty superhero soap opera, and it's not gonna be worth a fucking dime in 20 years. Suck it.
Well, you're going a little overboard with that.
That was a little overboard.
Because I don't think it is as bad as what you're saying overall.
Yeah.
But I do think that again,
it was boring.
It was overall a bit of a waste of time.
Yes, thank you.
The movie is
quote. Patrick says it's overall a bit of a waste of time.
Only because they wasted so much time. The movie didn't need to be 3 hours.
It did not need to be 3 hours.
The movie needed to be 2 hours.
2 hours tops. Thank you. Amen. 100%. Jinx and a fucking Coke, motherfucker.
But either way, I'm glad that they made it. However, I'm not glad with that being like the end cap. I guess
Endgame.
Nice. I do think that there was, they had to end it and they wanted to make it a big spectacle. Spectacle. That's a new word. Put that in the dictionary.
And it's
okay, so the movie overall was a waste of time.
It was a waste of time.
However,
how much time was it?
They wanted to make it a spectacle. They wanted to make it big. They wanted to make it grand.
It didn't feel big.
Think it was. No, at the end it was. It took a while to get there.
It took a long ass time.
At the end it was. You know what I'm saying? And look at it this way. This is also a tough thing, and you should understand this, right? The reason why Game of Thrones is amazing is because you're not sitting there for fucking 30 hours, which is the whole story. You're getting in an hour
like 30
increments.
Hours,
well, it can absolutely. Tons happened, but you're not sitting there for more than an hour. Although I'm glad that we're getting like hour and a half episodes. I'm glad that we're getting more than just an hour. Yeah, we are.
Okay.
The last 4, I think, are more than an hour. Either way,
gosh.
But you can do the long play strategy of telling your story a lot easier in that format, right?
Right.
It's a lot harder to cram that many different storylines, which is the comparable factor is you have that many different storylines in a Game of Thrones as you do in something like this,
Yeah.
And actually they had more to deal with in Endgame, and I feel like Infinity War, I feel like that was a little bit more fragmented and didn't feel as fluid. This one felt more fluid.
Yeah.
But they also still tried to cram too much into a small amount of time. But they didn't do it correctly. You know what I'm saying? They had too much fluff.
They did it. Fluff. That's a good word. There was a lot of fluff in this movie. There was a ton of fluff.
A lot of fluff.
It was just like
not enough
why
palpable
is this scene happening?
Something to chew on.
Dude,
you know?
I was looking at my watch like an hour in. I look at him.
I didn't wear my watch. I should have.
By my watch, I brought my phone. I took my phone out. I'm not even kidding you. My phone. This isn't even the right time. I don't even know what time it is.
It's a nice watch. I like that.
Thank you. It's a Movement Watch, sponsored by Movement Watch.
Are you?
No.
Oh.
But no, I went to this event.
But maybe you will be.
No, yeah, exactly. I went to this event and I spun the wheel, and Movement Watches.
You're not
Yeah.
left-handed though.
I'm not.
Why do you wear your watch on your right hand?
You know, my brother always wore it on his right hand, so I always wore it on my right hand.
I look up to my little brother too. I get
Yeah,
that.
I do. Yeah.
I get that.
There you go. There you go.
From
There
all
were
that.
scenes I was holding back, I must say, watching this movie, because there were scenes where two male actors were talking, and I wanted to yell, "Make out! Make out!"
I would have told you to please be quiet.
I
dude.
know.
But
I would've felt more comfortable
here's the thing,
being
though,
that
is it would have taken me to get you to stop doing shit
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
true. That's true. Yeah.
Oh, I fucking hate people. This is why I'm gonna probably never go to movies like in the theater ever again. I'll watch movies at home. I don't need to see them right away.
That's the thing, man. It's like it takes away your wanting to see it, and that's the reason why I'm watching this fucking movie. Because I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch it at some point because I want to see what the fucking hype is about. I love movies. I don't have to justify how much I love movies, even though I hate these fucking movies.
You
I
do
want
hate
to watch.
You do
I
hate
fucking
on
hate
a lot
these
of movies.
I
though.
hate on these
For
movies.
loving movies, you hate on a lot of movies.
I do. Yeah.
You gotta realize that.
Well, because I only hate on them because I love movies.
yeah.
So okay, so the Avengers. I was so pissed off. I don't know. Let's have a drink.
Am I even in the shot right now?
Yeah, you are.
Oh, okay. It's got the fish eye.
It's wide. It's actually not fisheye. It is a wide angle, but it's not fisheye because I don't like the fisheye.
Because you're leaning in. I feel like am I out? Like, are you?
No,
leaning
you're
in for a
in.
reason?
You're in. Let me
Okay.
see. This is fun because I have a lot of shit. I realize I
You
don't
talk a lot of shit about.
I talk a lot of
movies.
shit, but I don't express
A lot
why
of
I
shit.
talk so much
Okay,
shit.
let's hear it.
right? So that's
It can't just be that.
Because
you
the thing is, the
have
problem
made
is-
movies. It can't just be that.
it's not that at all.
It
This has
can't
been
be.
dude. This has been me since I was born. I'm like, you know what? I want to see what the hype is all about. I'm like, hey, it's pretty cool seeing something that costs $200 million, right? And
Is
I'm
that
like,
how much it costs?
yeah,
Endgame, 200 million.
or more. It's a lot of fucking money,
A lot
guys.
of money, man.
That's a lot of fucking money, guys.
Yeah.
So it's probably more. I will get the exact. It's probably closer to 300 million.
Oh, well,
which is insane.
you know they probably understated to make it seem like they made more than they actually did. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
that's a whole thing.
That's a typical business play, no matter who you are.
They inflate
You know?
the cost a lot of times. They also deflate it a lot of times. So it depends on what it is. Like if it's a movie, if I say my movie costs $1 million, it's better than for me saying it costs $100.
I wish your movie cost $1 million.
I wish it did too.
This movie review is sponsored by Rideshare, now on Amazon Prime. Watch it, give it 5 stars, and comment saying it's the greatest movie of all time. Do it now.
Honestly, I feel the way you guys and I are about the same generation, same age.
Yeah.
Jesse and I feel the same way. Like my son and the younger kids, they don't know. Like they didn't grow up with Hulk being the fucking strongest character and Thor being one of the strongest characters. It's like, dude, either one of them without the gauntlet on fucking Thanos' hand should be able to fucking manhandle his ass, you know?
Right.
And it's like, you pussify Banner and you turn him into a fucking intellectual. I hate that Hulk. And it's like, I love Hulk. Hulk and Wolverine are my favorite characters.
Well, hold on. What I do have to,
That's a funny thing because
I do have to contradict you on the Hulk there, only for a small second, because there was a point in the comics where they made the merger between the smart Bruce Banner.
Mastero, whatever.
But
No,
still.
they called him like Wallbreaker Hulk or something like that.
yeah.
dude.
But that actually did happen. I don't think they portrayed it as well as they should have, but that actually did happen.
But there was a couple different Hulks because he separated.
There was a
that.
lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, no, I'm with you on that, man. Every single time the Hulk was on screen, I started laughing out loud.
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
It looks so stupid, too. He looked like an idiot. Like, well, Ruffalo is a blockhead.
Thor Ragnarok, I think Hulk made that movie. He made me laugh so fucking much, you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
And then when he busted up Loki at the other one, it's like, dude, Hulk had a lot of, for me to be into the movie, you know? And then you take out, the last movie, I was so pissed because Hulk didn't even fight. In this movie, Hulk didn't even fucking fight. You know?
Barely.
No, yeah, Hulk didn't fight.
Well,
Thor kind of fought for like a split second.
Well, Bruce Banner was in the
Honestly,
Iron Man suit.
You know this as a movie maker. They're trying to promote women, as far as when the women clear the road.
I'm not the only one to say it.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one to say it. Thank you.
It's like, I swear to God, I think they only did that because Captain Marvel did so well, and they put all the women, seriously, Are you fucking kidding
There
me?
was that one scene, you're right, where it was like, oh, she doesn't need help, or she's got backup, or whatever the fuck they said. And then,
was done purely to get women to like the movie and motivate them to, you know.
but what's so funny is that at the end of that little sequence, they all failed.
Yeah, they all completely.
Right? Like, is that not just a perfect fucking, like, comparison was...
You know, it was funny because Pat brought that up, and I didn't even really remember that part, to be honest. Like, he kind of just glossed over.
No, because
I
that
was
part
like,
honestly took away from the fight for me.
Yeah,
They really did.
yeah.
I mean, they made
It was
it like, okay, girl power and all them fucking mounted up and let's ride, you know, like go do this shit. I'm like, dude.
And then all of a sudden they failed, and the fight went back to right where you left it off before is where it picked up once that little woman scene was over. You know?
They took the two most masculine characters in Hulk and Thor, and they dismasculinated them.
Yeah, that's actually really true. You're right. Like, Thor was like a bitch the whole time. Thor didn't do shit.
Yeah, he was fat and lazy.
He was fat and lazy the whole time.
Shit.
It's like okay, that's kind of funny to start with, but then you want to see Thor kick it into high gear.
that's
and just
almost
bring
where
it
I
back.
said they overdid
But that
it
never
with-
happened. That never fucking happened.
Do you agree
Never
that they
did.
overdid it with the Lebowski thing?
Two of the most famous, most popular out of the Avengers, you know? Like, I like both of them more than Iron Man.
Yeah.
I didn't really like Iron Man, you know?
Really? In this movie or in general?
Well, no, not when growing up as a kid, you know, Iron Man wasn't my
In the comics.
cup of tea. Like,
I always dude. The thing is, Iron Man is my one movie, the one superhero I do like. I do
Only
like
for that
Iron Man.
movie, though.
I love Iron Man the movie.
The
Yeah.
first one.
The first one. The first one's incredible. I like Iron Man, but I can see why you didn't like him, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
What don't you like about him?
I don't know. It just seems like he has too much of a chip on his shoulder, you know? It just seems like he's bitter. Anything. So, but I mean, at the end, when he sacrificed, after that, yeah, I probably did have more respect for him after this movie. But beforehand, honestly, I could say he's probably my fourth or fifth, you know.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. Well, I can see why. Like, my whole thing was like, not all Avengers are created equal, right? Like, we've got fucking Thor, we've got Hulk, and then we've got fucking Hawkeye. Poor Hawkeye is like shooting a fucking bow and arrow.
Poor Hawkeye.
You know what I mean? Like, you got Thor,
With
the god
no
of
real,
thunder.
power.
He's got no
he's
powers,
like raw
right?
talent, and that's it.
His raw talent, his eyesight.
Without the arrow, he's like nothing, you know?
Right, yeah. He's
And
like,
he did well with the sword.
did he?
Yeah, he had a sword the whole movie.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
He had a sword the whole fucking movie, dude. He
I
did
don't
well with the
remember that.
sword. But either way, you're right. He only has raw talent. He doesn't have, like, real abilities or powers.
Yeah, doesn't have any power.
Yeah, so it's kind of it was funny, and then also fucking Black Widow. What the hell does she do? What did she do
Well,
this whole movie?
first of all,
she did jack shit.
Scarlett Johansson can do no
Black
wrong.
Widow was one of the hottest ones in there. That's why I wish they had Wonder Woman in there.
Scarlett,
Yeah, I mean, look.
look at this.
Wonder Woman and her
Scarlett Johansson can do no wrong.
Dude,
No wrong.
I was laughing at her the whole movie.
She's better than
She sucks.
She's
dude.
better than Jesus, dude.
She sucks.
She is.
She's kind of hot still, but like she sucks, man.
If you don't know this,
I know you. I'm all aware.
I'm a fan
I'm
of
all
Scarlett
aware.
Johansson.
I'm not like
she can do no wrong.
she didn't really do much in this whole movie. She did jack shit, and then she dies, and then she's like, "Don't worry," like she's whispering.
Yeah, she sacrificed herself for the greater
Yeah.
good. For the greater good.
Yeah, the greater good. Yeah,
The movie.
Greater good, yeah.
Hot Fuzz. I love that
No,
movie. You haven't seen Hot Fuzz?
I have seen it.
I love Hot Fuzz.
It's funny.
Sorry,
but
Sean.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
We're getting sidetracked.
Anyway,
Yeah, I'm getting occupied here. I gotta take care of my client.
all right, man. We'll let you go.
All right, brother. I'll
Take
call
care.
you later.
It's good. Don't worry about it. You're good, Patrick.
All right,
bro.
man.
All right, bro. Don't worry about
Nice
it.
talking to you guys.
All right,
Later.
you too.
Peace.
That's the thing. I love time travel. I love sci-fi movies. I love space movies. Like, I love all
Yeah.
that. That's why I was more
One of
down
my
with
favorite
this.
franchises is Alien. I
Yeah, it's
love
a great
all those
franchise.
movies.
So, but but there's a difference between Alien and this movie. You know,
Drastically.
drastic. And I feel
But this
like,
movie is way more epic. It was a culmination of, like, what, 12 movies?
but it
maybe
wasn't.
more?
To me, it didn't feel epic. It felt lame. It felt like another.
I
superhero
agree.
movie.
It was anticlimactic. I
Yeah,
agree.
that was it. So I give I give Avengers Endgame 1.
See, but I feel like it was entertaining.
1 star.
1 star? That's harsh, man.
1
That's harsh.
star out of 5. Like, if it was the last hour, I would give it 2.5 stars. Right? If the whole movie was just the last hour, I would give it 2.5. Hey, that was like kind of it.
Actually, if it was the first and the last hour.
The first hour sucked too. Like everything.
No, but you needed that intro. You needed to get, because again,
the first 5 minutes were good.
crucial.
I liked them. I liked the first 5 minutes of the movie.
And maybe it was more than 5 minutes, but yeah.
And then when the people disappeared, the audience was like, oh.
The audience did way too much.
The
we're
audience
not
sucked,
get back
dude.
on that. We're not gonna get back on that.
But again, I'll finish with this. Avengers movies are stupid, but the audience that love Avengers are even dumber. You can quote me on that.
That's me, bro.
You can quote me on that. That's dude. Dude, no, the Avengers audience sucks.
No.
They're idiots. Not only do they suck,
think
but they're
people
idiots.
suck. I think people suck.
No, it's Avengers people.
No.
Avengers people.
No.
Thanos again says, "I just want people to be grateful." It's like, he doesn't seem like a villain. He's not a villain.
He's not a true villain.
It's like it would be like a God or Jesus saying like, God, like how come people aren't fucking grateful of me? Like,
I think they are
happy?
trying to make him on that level. Yeah, they definitely tried to make him seem that powerful.
They try to, but it's like it's like he's, I don't know. He's not really this villain. He's just like I just want people to be very grateful. And I don't want global warming to happen. So
don't do that. I'll tell you this. I think they did a very good job with what they thought they were trying to do.
That sounds. If anyone said that about my movie, I would be so like, oh, that's the worst.
That sounds very vague, though. It sounds vague, and
they thought they did a good job with what they were thinking they were trying to do.
Is that exactly what I said? Oh man, that's a.
Yeah. It's like they thought they did well.
We should probably drink less. No. I do think they thought they did well.
We should probably drink.
I do think they thought they did well. But
I think they thought they did well.
Overall, was just average.
But I know that they did shitty.
Like,
I don't think it was shitty. I would say it was below average.
I would say it was average.
I would say it's...
Which is why I give it 3 stars out of 5.
Okay.
I think it's average.
Average is...
I do.
Okay.
Or what's average? 2.5? No, average should not be 2.5. Average should be 3 out of 5.
3? Okay, it's average. It's an average movie.
I'm not a fan of participation trophies.
Okay, so it's an average movie. It gets its participation.
You need to be a little bit better than the rest to be average.
To me, it didn't earn anything to even be
Let's raise the bar, not lower it, is what I'm saying.
To me, it didn't lower. It didn't raise anything.
It didn't raise or lower, in my mind.
It kind of lowered it.
It kept it.
The bar is really low. The bar is really fucking low. That's what I'm saying. The bar
that's
is
not
really
the
low.
Avengers' fault.
The Avengers bar is really low.
You know what needs to happen then? Okay, let's get on this conversation.
The bar for movies is really fucking low.
Well, then tell James Cameron to make more movies.
Tell James to tell me to make more movies.
You get hooked up with James Cameron, make a movie with this motherfucker,
we'll make
and then we'll go.
Bangers.
Like, dude,
we'll make some fucking bangers.
He needs to make more movies because apparently he's the only one that can make good movies every fucking 10, 20 years.
Look, I miss the days when...
Right?
Yes. Okay. I miss the days when you would be excited for a movie. Like, I'm not... Like, people were excited for this movie, but even the diehard Avengers fans who were in the audience weren't even cheering at the parts where they were supposed to cheer.
I agree. It was all just like the cheap laughs that they were going for.
It was all the cheap laughs that they were laughing at. But they're so stupid. Like, these people are idiots. Like, they're literally stupid idiots. And that's being nice.
Pile it on them, Trey.
That's being nice. Like they're so like they listen.
Yeah.
Like the jokes were so dumb.
Well, and you know.
Movie Day. Subscribe to our channel for the greatest movie reviews on planet Earth. Click the notification button too, so you get notified. Hit that like button, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe. Movie Day, Movie Day, Movie Day, Movie Day, Movie Day, Movie Day. We're gonna